We're looking at the Harp 1 part for Equinox dance number 1 from bar 7. If you are not one of my students, you might want to forward the video for a couple of minutes and then start at that point, because you might wonder if we're talking in a different language here, just because we have sort of special words for rhythms. Okay, so for my guys, you have got a tree tied to a low. So although effectively that's a two woo, I think we should think of it as tree e. So like add an extra e bit on the end of it, just because it is going over a bar line here, and I think that's going to make more sense. And then we've got blue, and then I think the rest of it is okay. So this is how it's going to sound. Tree e blue, sh low jello blue, low blue, low blue, blue, blue. But in terms of actually putting this together as a duet with the other part, it's going to be really important to be able to count it. So that's what we're going to look at next. The most tricky thing about this is the rhythm. So we're going to spend quite a bit of time just looking at the rhythm before we get on to looking at the notes. Okay, so I'm going to read out the numbers that are on the screen in front of you. And the thing to notice is that the ands take up the same amount of time as the numbers. You'll see what I mean when we get going. But basically everything is representing a quaver or a low, if that's how you think about it. Okay, so I'm going to read it out, and I encourage you to join in once you get the hang of what I'm doing. I'll probably go over it a couple of times. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and. Great. If you're struggling with that, I recommend that you wind the video back and just do this again until you feel comfortable. So we're moving on to the next stage. So as you can see, we've still got the exact same numbers that we had before, but this time some of them are in pink. So the pink numbers represent whereabouts you are going to be plucking a string or several strings. So the pink numbers are where you pluck, okay? What we can do now to just try and practice this is we will clap on the pink numbers. So we'll count exactly the same as we were doing before, but we'll clap when we get to the pink numbers. Now this is quite hard, so don't worry if you're finding it difficult. It's not you, it's just a hard thing to do. I think I will give you 2 bars in, so I'll count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll start, okay? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and. Should we try it again? I'll give you the 2 lots of 3 to come in. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and. Now it's time to listen to me playing your part, and you can be following along with the counting as I do that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and. Next, have a go at following the sheet music for this little section while you're listening. Now remember, you've got 2 lots of treble clefs here because both of your hands are playing in quite a high register on the harp. They are playing in octaves though, so that helps you. So maybe you could just follow the right hand part, which is the higher stave. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and. We've looked quite a lot at the rhythm, So now we're going to look at the notes. This is in F major. So most probably you have a lever harp in 3 flats. If that's the case, what you want to do is cancel your E and A flats. So all your E and A levers will go up. Okay, so the good news is that the right hand and the left hand are doing exactly the same thing throughout the whole of this passage, just an octave apart. So we're going to find the left hand is going to be second finger on the E above middle C, miss a string, thumb goes on G. So that's quite a familiar shape. And then you've got the same thing an octave higher. So this is my middle C here, just so you can orient yourself. So it's the second finger on the E above middle C, miss a string, thumb on G, same thing an octave higher. After we've played this chord and they're going to come together, the next chord we're going to go to is the thumb is going to go to where the second finger was before, so onto the E, miss a string, and the second finger's going to be on C. So it's going to be this chord here, E and G, and then this chord here, C and E. After we've done that, the next little bit, what we've got to get our fingers ready for, is going to be fourth finger on the B flat. So again, here's my middle C. So the fourth finger on the B flat here, and the right hand an octave above. And then all the other fingers go next door. So you've got them all in a row. So you've got B flat, C, D, E, and B flat, C, D, E. This little bit is going to be like a little sort of scale passage going up. When we get to the top, we're going to put our second finger, third finger, and fourth finger on again, ready to come down. And then it's going to be a bit like a descending scale passage, but with a nice kind of funky rhythm. When we get to the fourth finger at the end on the way down, the thumb is going to go over. So again, like a scale coming down, your second finger and your third finger will go on. Okay, so I am going to obviously play it for you, but that gives you a little overview. So I will count 1, 2, 3 in before I play. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3. So a bit more good news is that this repeats. So once you've learnt that, you've effectively learnt sort of twice as much. So I'll just play it for you again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1.